This episode of Brokerage in Motion was brought to you by Simplicity Group.
Hello and welcome to Brokerage in Motion, your one-stop guide for everything happening in independent distribution. I'm Katie Falinger. In industry headlines, it's official. With overwhelming support, NAILBA and Finseca have voted to merge and create NAILBA, a Finseca community. The move will help to not only build a stronger collective voice for the profession, but to more effectively serve it as well. We will have much more on the announcement with CEO Dan LaBert a little bit later in the show. And a proud moment for our association. NAILBA recently won the 2022 ASAE Gold Circle Award for Integrated Media Solutions for its ID Media Network. The ID Network is a multi-platform hub of news, resources, and information, and a first of its kind, with a wide variety of content, including this show, Brokerage in Motion, and Perspectives Magazine, just to name a few. A well-deserved congratulations to ID Network VP Pam Sheehan for spearheading this effort. In acquisition news, Integrity Marketing Group has announced plans to acquire Ash Brokerage. Ash Brokerage is one of the oldest and largest insurance brokerages in the country. Officials say the partnership will bring additional strength and leadership to Integrity's fast-growing partner network. As part of the move, Ash CEO Tim Ash will become a managing partner in Integrity. Giving back. One America announced a $1 million commitment to activate a financial literacy program in central Indiana. In collaboration with the American College of Financial Services, the program will be uniquely tailored to youth and adults with a focus on narrowing the racial wealth gap. The initiative will offer students practical financial understanding to build personal relationships with finance and drive economic empowerment. And finally, challenges amidst the political landscape. According to a life annuity specialist article, life insurers are among the major corporations finding it harder than ever to remain neutral on hot-button issues on which states are taking aggressive positions. Carriers must contend with conflicting state bills that force them to take a stand or risk losing business for issues such as choosing to boycott or not boycott gun manufacturers and fossil fuel companies. Officials say this raises big concerns and that they will urge policymakers to ensure businesses can stay out of the political fray. If you have any carrier or industry announcements or news to share, we would love to hear about it. Feel free to email us at info@nailba.org.
Hey, good day, everyone. Joining me today is Jane Riley, Chief Compliance Officer from the Leaders Group. Jane's very recognizable. She's been with the Leaders Group since 1998. If you're not familiar with the Leaders Group, they themselves were founded in 1994. So Jane's pretty much been there the entire time. There's 2 decades of knowledge, expertise, leadership, especially in this changing marketplace that we reside in. The Leaders Group is the premier broker dealer for BGAs nationwide and is the world's #1 dealer for variable universal life. I'm saying that from the NAILBA CEO role. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Dan. Thank you so much for having me today.
Oh, we love you guys. Leaders Group is a big supporter of NAILBA. You're a big supporter of all the brokerage general agencies out there. So I'm sure you're very recognizable. Well, that being said, let's dive right in. As you are the Chief Compliance Officer, so I know you can go super deep on all these questions, but I'm going to force you to stay at the surface level, or at very much the surface level of a BGA principal. How's that?
That sounds great. Otherwise, I can get kind of compliance geeky.
All right, let's dive right into it. As an insurance-focused broker-dealer, let's just talk about compliance. How do you approach it with requirements for wholesale BGAs and retail agents registered with the Leaders Group? What is the holistic approach?
Well, at the Leaders Group, our whole philosophy is doing the right thing is always the right thing. So that means we're out there to protect the customers, our representatives, the BGAs, and of course, the Leaders Group.
Sure.
So that's how we look at everything, is as long as we are protecting the customers, we're protecting our representatives and we're protecting the firm. On the wholesale side of the business, we're not dealing with customers as such. Our customers are the other financial advisors. So we're there to protect those financial advisors, making sure that even if they're not with the Leaders Group, they're still doing things right. that our BJAs are protected because they're doing things the right way, and of course that the leaders group is. So we're really here to facilitate compliant business. We try to get away from that whole, idea that compliance is here to just stop you from doing business. So it's a holistic, do the right thing, and everybody stays out of trouble.
We are going to take just a short break. Don't go anywhere. There's more Brokerage in Motion coming up.
Streamline your life insurance application process with LexisNexis Life Data Prefill, so your customers can get back to life. With a name, address, and date of birth, Life Data Prefill instantly fills in essential data for you to access and use at the point of sale. Providing you, the carrier, with more accurate data early on in the application process helps improve efficiency and creates a better experience for consumers and producers. Now, several new data packages enable you to incorporate even more insights into your application process. These enhancements help you proceed with greater confidence and enable more informed decisions that help you achieve your goals. Contact your LexisNexis Risk Solutions account executive to learn more.
Time now for our IDY segment, where we shine the spotlight on the people in the industry and learn what drives them. To many, this NAILBA member is a familiar face, a man with a decades-long career in brokerage that was sparked when he returned from the Vietnam War. Here's his story. 1968. Young men around the country are being drafted, forced out of the routine of their daily lives and into another. For Art Jeter, it was no different.
I was selling clothes at a men's and boys clothing store, and I was making $1 an hour. And the next thing you're flying around with a $1.5 million helicopter, blowing stuff up and getting shot at, and it's quite a change.
Trained as a Cobra helicopter gunship pilot, Art fought in Vietnam with a select group of only a few dozen.
Those pilots all became dear friends of mine, and those that are still left are still dear friends of mine, and we stay in fairly good, close contact.
Art returned home in December of 1971. Just several months later, 8 of the 32 pilots with whom he served tragically died in combat.
It's kind of a tough thing to have that happen, and to good friends. I came home fine. I just regret that we lost good people, but I think that we all together made a pretty good team.
And it was the fresh reminder of his teammates that helped Art when it came time to decide on a career path after the war, which was, of course, insurance. A primer on the benefits of owning a policy, an interview with a recruiter, and Art was hooked.
And I thought, somebody should have told us that when we were in Vietnam. We all would have bought these great big policies. And then he told me how much it costs, and I thought, why doesn't everybody do this?
He's been in the business ever since. What would you say it is that drives you to work in this field every day?
Yeah, I love what we do. I think we're just wonderfully blessed being able to affect so many lives in a positive way, makes me feel like I'm accomplishing something wonderful.
Just one of the reasons Art's been a staunch supporter of NAILBA almost since the beginning. When he attended his first annual meeting, his agency was small, and at the time, he didn't know anyone else who had one.
Then I see all these people there that they're doing what I'm doing, and I was just shocked. I met some of the most fantastic people when I got into NAILBA, and so many questions that I would have about how to run my business. The answers were already discovered by many of them.
The professional camaraderie kept Art coming back and giving back to the association as a past board chair, among other roles. Work and dedication that earned him the coveted Moores Award in 2014.
I think if somebody's going to give you an award like the Moores Award, make sure Ray Phillips is the guy that introduces you. I thought, yeah, I got goosebumps listening to Ray talk about me.
And in concert with the growth of his agency, so too grew his commitment to giving back and serving this industry. Indeed, the positions of leadership and the recognitions of his industry service are nothing short of phenomenal.
Service to country, colleagues, and his own clients. For Art, it's a cornerstone of a life well lived.
I think that each of us have a responsibility. If we're going to be in this business, we got to give something back. We got to do as much as possible or practical.
And right now I am joined by CEO Dan LaBert. And Dan, as mentioned at the top of the show, the vote regarding a NAILBA FinSecca merge is complete. So let's dive into details. Can you talk about the vote process and results? And was there any notable member feedback that came in along the way?
There was. It was actually a really exciting process to go through. The member engagement from the NAILBA member agencies was through the roof. I'm happy to say that it was a significant amount. Over 80% of the agencies that were eligible to vote and did vote was the total number for the vote. So it was significant. And even of those who are a little on the fence, they still believe in the mission of NAILBA. They understand what we're trying to do. They're willing to get involved, and we're going to get them involved, right? We're going to get the people who are on the no side to vote. But still, there weren't that many, 80+% of the member voting agencies. It was a significant number.
Good. So what's next for NAILBA? Is there a targeted date for integration there? And how's this going to impact NAILBA member agencies?
So now is when the sort of the hard work begins. If I already didn't think the past few months was a lot of work, right now we're working on all the internal logistics, the legal side of things, the accounting side of things, the personnel side of things. So everything is working there. We're targeting, a late June, early July, fully integrated. I'm hoping probably by June 30th, we'll call it that, but it could go a stretch a few more days. But more importantly, that's the inside of NAILBA. How this impacts the members is nothing. There'll be no impact on the members. Their membership will have access to all the NAILBA member resources, which they're accustomed to. When we open up registration for the annual meeting, if they're a member, they'll still get their free registration that's part of their membership for one of the attending representatives from their agency. So all good, right? And then we'll slowly start adding some of the value from FinSecca into the brokerage community, the NAILBA community, so that they can start realizing the benefits of this merger. But for this year, as we discussed, you're not going to see many changes. You will see an enhanced annual meeting and some great things we have planned. You want to call it Washington update 2 weeks after the election. So you will start seeing the value almost immediately come the November annual meeting.
That sounds great. So, all right, Dan, it would be really easy for us, I think, to talk merger all the time in this discussion, but we do have a lot more going on besides that. So are there any important summer activities you want to make the membership aware of, save the dates, anything like that?
You mean outside of the merger?
Exactly.
NAILBA will be back with its summer symposium. It will be in August this year, the first week of August. And then August 4th, which I believe the last day, that will be our NAILBA Case Manager Symposium. We're going to roll out all of these save the dates and what content you could see. Of course, it's all going to be on demand. And the first 2 days of the summer symposium are, it's complimentary registration. You do have to register, but there's no charge to it. It's part of being, a partner of NAILBA, a member of NAILBA. The case manager will have a nominal registration because that is very specific to the case manager. So Summer Symposium in August. We'll talk more about that in future Brokerage in Motion. And as I alluded to earlier, annual meeting registration always opens up in the summer. That will continue. So look for that as we will be back at the Gaylord Texan with an exciting program. And like I said, some of the enhancements around as a result of the merger will be on display at the annual meeting in November. So registration opens up this summer, and Summer Symposium and Case Manager Symposium. And yeah, no rest for the weary.
Sounds good. All great info as always. Thank you so much, Dan.
Thanks, Katie.
That is going to do it for this episode of Brokerage in Motion. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Leading the financial planning business, Simplicity Group is proud to support its distribution partners, advisors, and consumers with industry education and long-term consumer value. Step into the future with Simplicity Group. Visit simplicitygroup.com for more information.